Hello everyone, my name is Atakan. Right now I'm senior student in Antalya University. My department is civil engineering. Today I will present to you chapter 7. The chapter 7 is about writing styles. We have two goals in this chapter. The first one is understanding the elements of the style in technical writing, and the second one is become familiar with the style that is most suitable for technical reports. Firstly, we will start with writing styles. Writing styles refers to mannerism in word usage. It is the way that the writer consciously and unconsciously chooses words from sentences and paragraphs and combines them with the ideas and thoughts to create a document. Style is all of the attributes described in criteria for good technical writing, as we mentioned in chapter 6, plus the product of the writer's personality, who he or she is and how they feel about it. From this figure we can see the how does the style affects from these elements. We can see the content, presentation, language skills and technical documents affect style, and also the personal background, tone, preference, mood, life experience and education affects your persona. Technical writing by definition is done for a reason. There is a purpose and objective for every document. You have to achieve something by writing this document. Writing style will help determine success in achieving the goal of the document. And now we also have one more figure. In this figure we can see that the words are consist of technical, action, complexity, tone, passive, active, length elements. And the sentences also contain complexity, grammar, length, voice, consists. And the paragraph also consists from long, short, logic, topic sentences elements. And the technical documents are combined all of them, and they have paper, proposal, book, email, information report and form report. Person affects word choice and results in a particular style. If you are a gregarious person, you may be prone to use words like bold, hearty, beautiful. An introverted person is likely to use words that do not draw attention to himself or herself. Words like anticipate, therefore, follows may be selected as a reflection of an introverted personality. And we have one rule in the slides. The rule says, do not let personal feelings show in writing. Now we can move on to negative words. Negative words such as those listed in the below suggest something undescribable, whether used as nouns, verbs or modifiers. A mistake is also always undescribable, and oversights and accident are similar to the mistake. All imply a negative connotation. The last word on our negative word list, clumsy, is also named calling. Many English words also almost always evoke negative reactions. These are some of the bad verbs that is used in English vocabulary. We can see there are lots of words like this: lazy, fat, loud words. And also we should avoid from using too much technical words. Sometimes technical words are certainly to be expected in technical documents, but there can be an overdose. So we have to avoid from using too much technical words. And we also have passive and active voices. Active and passive voices involve the reader in very different ways. As previously noted in chapter 6, criteria for good technical writing, Writing in the active voice usually makes documents more reliable. The active voice is a good attribute in any form of writing, because writing in the active voice makes your statement more forceful. The active voice simply means that the subject of the sentence does action. Passive voice, on the other hand, does not identify who is doing the action. So we can see the from slides difference between the passive voice and active voices. The shortest way of expression of passive voice is samples of each candidate's plastic were sanded and mounted, and the active voice is the manually laboratory selection of mounted as a sample of each candidate plastic. So in the active voices, the reader knows who did the centering and the mounting. Active voice generally requires the use of action verbs, like the ones in the figure 703, while passive verbs tend to give readers observation. This is one of the reasons why technical documents, which must present observational results, often use passive verbs. The passive voices is unavoidable. Just try to eliminate passive verbs whenever you can, as shown in the following examples. In this example, the indirect results of using the active voices is to make clear who is doing the action. So we can see the several examples from both active and the passive voices. So if I have to give an example, in active voices we can see the example of the alpha site. The alpha site team achieved a tenfold improvements in life, and the passive voice has an example of a noticeable difference in quality was observed between US and the Canadian products. Now we can move on to the sentence construction. Construction of good sentences following directly by word choice. Build sentences which consist voicey and substantive words in the active voice. Include valid facts and data. Suppress your inclination to use meaningless and negative words, euphemism and abbreviations. What recommendations should you follow when forming sentences? In a way, readers are like voters in the political election. They do not want negative statements. Voters want to hear positive statements with substantive recommendations for the future. This same strategy applies in technical writing. Sentences need to be clear, concise, understandable, and based upon positive words. The basic rules of sentences formation are taught in school, but the bad habits often persist. Confusing clauses, slangs, items, and the errors in the grammar or punctuation are common cause of poor sentence construction. This section focuses on 5 poor sentence habits that commonly appear in technical writing. Elimination of these unsound habits can improve construction of sentences. Now we have paragraphs. Paragraphs are essential in good writing, and most people take paragraphs for granted. Good paragraphs are unnoticeable. We have always read paragraphs. Everything is broken into paragraphs in newspaper, books, and letters. Good paragraphs are inconspicuous because they just make reading easier by grouping related sentences together. This basic objective depends on the choice of paragraphs, content, and length. Paragraph contents. The key part of any paragraph is its topic sentence. Paragraphs must have a topic sentence, which is supported by the other sentences in the paragraph. Most often, the paragraphs begin with topics sentences. It continues with the supporting sentences and ends with some forms of thesis restatements, and translation to the next paragraph. For technical documentaries, the purpose of paragraph is either the pursuit or to share information. These purposes lend themselves to specific strategies for development of paragraph contents. To persuade someone of something, first assert what you want readers to think or do. This is done with topic sentences. Summary of the elements in style. Writing style is like personal lifestyle. Everybody is different in use of words, sentences, and paragraphs. However, technical writing requires a style different from creative writing. It requires a style that conveys information rather than art. Words must be chosen carefully. There are many types of words available to the technical writing, but only particular types of words should be used: active, factual, positive, and default. Be aware of tone. Personal feelings like bias can be determined from word choice. Sentences and the paragraphs also need good structure, length, and focus. Sentences should be concise and direct statements with the complete thought. All paragraphs need a topic sentences that is supported by other sentences in the paragraph. These are just some of the elements of style. Other elements are described in the subjective chapters. Now we can see the examples of writing. There are several of examples. We have information technical writing, referenced writing style, informational style, descriptive writing, mathematical writing, conversational writing, and shallow writing. So I will explain some of them. So we will start with informal style. A descriptive style pertains to the documents that need to explain something. The documents may be an instruction manual or a report that explains a process or design concept. These types of descriptive documents can be written in different ways depending on author style. For example, a description of in active voice has a different connotation than the passive voice. For example, active voices put the oil indicator into the sump and connect into the data logger, and the passive voices, the oil indicator is put into the sump and connected with the data logger. And we also have descriptive writing. It is probably apparent at the point that this description needs illustration. How does one slide of paper clip and down the paper? Sketch and list the key parts would clarify things. So we have also mathematical writing. In mathematical writing, the writing style in mathematical example only conveys a message to those who have the interest in time to following mathematics. If this is the goal, then let this be a style. If you wish to convey a message to the larger readership, limit the maths and explain the thesis in the words and illustration. On the other extreme, some technical documents are written in conventional style. They are written like you would talk in the coworker. And we also add some rules. So while we're writing the writing, we shouldn't write like we talk. So we have to take care of this thing. And also we have recommended style. We usually presentation consists from 4 different elements. It's usually contain introduction, body, conclusion, and recommendation. And when we ask questions about how should we write, what style should we try to have, For good or bad, your style is somewhere presented to your personality. Who are their personality characteristics? We will find the solutions to these questions after we do this paragraphs, the introduction, body, conclusion, and recommendations. So, to sum up, we have some tones, we have some important terms. You can see from the figure. And also, writing style is the reflection of your personality, but technical writing requires a style that achieves an attribution of good technical documents. This is one of the main reasons why they are different. And in the technical writing, we have the following concepts reflect the style requirements of good technical writing. Use of accepted report format, choose concise words, be unbiased and maintain a natural, objective tone, constructs clear sentences of mixed lengths, avoid the use of unfamiliar technical words, use an impersonal style, especially from formal reports or papers. So there are lots of kinds of things. So thank you for listening to me. Now I may take the questions.